Well, ladies and gentlemen, XRP is back to $1. That's right. On the weekly, we are looking as though we are about to lose pretty much all of our support and hit a lower low on XRP. And just as I've mentioned in prior videos, we needed to really kind of defend this $1 range, because if we don't, then yes, there's a possibility that we go down to 75 cents, possibly even 88 cents. And it seems as though that could very well be our next stop unless we start to see some significant impulsive move off of these lows. But right now, it doesn't seem as though we're going to be getting that. But the main reason why I wanted to talk a little bit about price action, the main reason why I wanted to really kind of look at things from a more zoomed out perspective is because I really think that things started to shift going all the way back to one key date. And I know that we bring up October 10th quite a bit, but let's be real here. Does this look normal to anyone? In one single daily candle, XRP dropped 45%. The entire market dropped over 42, like 50+% in one day. I'm bringing this up because we have clarity in front of us, right? We have all this noise and all the focus on one big thing. Oh, guys, guess what? The price action is so down. The only thing that can save us, right, is clarity, obviously. That's what everyone is thinking. They think that we will not have a price rebound. We will not see any movement unless we get clarity. And looking at clarity, let's take a quick look at a few things. So right off the rip, we have Justin. White House warns that the Clarity Act will die on September 15th unless 7 Democrats vote yes. Market structure legislation now hinges on a razor-thin bipartisan margin. I think right now, the biggest thing to focus on is not exactly the Clarity Act passing. We have been told that the Clarity Act will enable X, Y, and Z. Specifically, one of those key things that it will enable is institutional adoption. Well, if the Clarity Act is so important for institutional adoption, why are we seeing Wall Street and the institutional players adopting crypto right now? Let's look at this update, because this is the newest update that we have on Clarity from earlier today around almost 1 p.m. We have update, Clarity Act under fire. Senate Democrats just dropped a report claiming that 5 major loopholes in the crypto bill weaker SEC enforcement, DeFi mixer AML gaps, and no private rights of action for investors. Also revealed Trump made $1.4 billion from crypto in 2025, nearly 2/3 of his income. I feel like at this point, retail has kind of been fed this nonsense. The Clarity Act is the biggest thing ever. It has to be like, this is it. Like, this is the moment that crypto gets, trillions of dollars in inflows and all of the biggest players and all of this massive, I feel like we have witnessed Clarity become such a big deal, to the point that if Clarity gets shot down, that's it. Crypto's dead. It's done. It's never coming back, right? I feel like we are being lied to. I feel like we are being fed nonsense. And I want to go over this in this video. But first, let's actually talk a little bit about this, because guys, 8 months later, all of 2026, we have been told that the biggest obstacle for Clarity is stablecoins, stablecoin yield. Some community banks are suggesting that stablecoins are driving deposit flight. The data says otherwise. Bank of America shows household deposits rising across income groups this year, and the FDIC reports domestic deposits grew for a 7th straight quarter. Community banks actually outperformed the industry, posting 5% deposit growth. If the worry is the Clarity Act compromise itself, that's backwards. Section 404 bars stablecoin issuers from paying anything that functions like interest, even disguised as rewards or points, and bans marketing stablecoins as deposits or FDIC insured. It's actually tougher than current law, not looser. The real story behind closing community banks isn't stablecoins. It's consolidation. 2,000 community banks lost in a decade. Only 62 new ones formed, and the buyers are super regional banks, not crypto companies. The banking committee already built a 9-provision community bank package into the housing bill to help with deposit retention, on top of tightening stablecoin yield rules under Clarity. Killing the Clarity Act won't help community banks, it just protects the status quo they say is broken. But yes, stablecoins and stablecoin yield are still being brought up as a problem 8 months later. It is so ridiculous. I actually made a post regarding this and I said that at this point, the Clarity Act is never passing. We are still stuck on stablecoin yield and stablecoin issues from 8 months ago. It's honestly a disgrace that we are allowing banks and banking organizations to be a part of the legislative process. Because again, this entire year has been nothing but back and forth with the big banks and community banks. Why? Why? That's my question. Why are we still hearing banks talk about, oh, these rules are not good for us, we need to revamp them? Why are they a part of this? Are they signing the checks that are going to, politicians? By the way, cough, cough, yes, they are. But like, when we think about what's happening here, it's kind of ridiculous. But this makes me think of something. This makes me think of where the Clarity Act really is right now and what the Clarity Act actually, what it really enables. Are we sitting here waiting for institutional adoption? I made a post on X and I said, am I the only one who is starting to believe that the Clarity Act is a big distraction? We keep getting told that without clarity, that institutions won't enter the space. During this entire back and forth trying to get the bill passed, though, we have watched the largest institutional players enter the space. Swift is launching a blockchain-based platform. Citi, Bank of America, JP Morgan, etc. are all hiring around digital assets, not to mention Wells Fargo. These same banks, along with other larger players, are tokenizing deposits. Let's not even mention PayPal launching a stablecoin. What about, if we think about how crazy things actually are getting, Western Union is even launching a stablecoin and also a stablecoin app. Yeah, that's right, Western Union. The same Western Union that barely changed anything for well over a few decades. Wall Street is actively positioned too, though. BlackRock, Fidelity, State Street, Franklin Templeton, they are all here tokenizing. I believe that we are seeing a strategic delay of the Clarity Act to let the bankers and Wall Street take control before law. It's not crazy to think that we witnessed a leverage flush back in October to wipe out retail. Again, like I said, if we think about that one single day, 45% in a single day is not some small type of change. Guys, this was a very significant amount of money. Just for reference, if we are thinking about market cap wise, let's go back to October. Again, one single day. I want you guys to realize a single day. Guess how much was wiped out? Take a look at that. Almost $80 billion wiped out in terms of market cap. That's just market cap. We're not talking about how much retail leverage was wiped out, how many people sold immediately off of this. Like, if we think about what's crazier than this, there really isn't another time in history for XRP that. Like, even if we go back to FTX or even if we go back to the lawsuit, like, yeah, sure, the lawsuit was pretty crazy. But during this entire time, right, if we're going from the top to the bottom, okay, $27 billion was wiped out of XRP during that lawsuit. We're talking about nearly $80 billion, guys. So I come back to my post here. Did we witness a retail flush? I believe that we did. Then, quickly after that, by the way, banks and Wall Street took over while the rest of the retail market was waiting for the Clarity Act only to be let down along the way. The longer it takes to get the Clarity Act done, the more time banks and Wall Street have to position at bear market lows. By the way, during this entire 8-month stretch, how many retail investors left the space? Because again, it's not just price capitulation, it's also time frame capitulation. When they are ready, we will see Clarity get the green light, and of course, they will profit heavily as always. We used to say that we had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be here before the banks and Wall Street, but they will not make it easy. Now is the time to lock in, accumulate the lows, and simply survive. Clarity will happen. Then we will see crypto everywhere, pushed by the financial giants of the world to millions and billions of retail users. Now is not the time to be shaken out. And again, I say this with confidence because look at what's been happening. Even prior to Clarity becoming like a thing, go back to 2024, Goldman Sachs Digital Assets to spin out technology platform, GSDAP. Also, in the 2025 annual chairman's letter to investors from Larry Fink from BlackRock, within this, they were talking about tokenization, digital assets, blockchain. The whole focus was that our systems are outdated. They're antiquated. We need an upgrade. Blockchain and digital assets and tokenization is that upgrade. But wait a second. I thought we needed Clarity for these big players to enter, for these big players to build products. Then we get the DTCC. Not just the DTCC, by the way. When you look into this and uncover what's really going on, it's so many big players. We're talking about major banks here. We're talking about massive asset management companies. BlackRock is another one on this list. BNP Paribas. We also have Circle here, Citadel, CME Group. I mean, guys, the list is pretty crazy here when you really uncover that. You have names like Microsoft on here. Yeah, you also have Vanguard on here, Societe Generale, State Street. I mean, wait a second. I thought we needed Clarity for these players to enter the space. You have NASDAQ, you have the New York Stock Exchange. Like, what's going on here? We're being told one thing, however, the opposite is happening. And also, back on July 16th, actually, of this year, Morgan Stanley, with their E-Trade, they completed the rollout of crypto spot trading. Fidelity, January 28th of this year, Fidelity Investments expands digital asset investment lineup with stablecoin launch, Fidelity Digital Dollar. What about JP Morgan? Oh yeah, that's right. They're advancing payments and settlement on blockchain. BNY and Goldman Sachs, July 23rd of 2025, launched tokenized money market fund solution. Like, all of these players, and by the way, BNY has been launching so much this year. Like, they've been going all in on tokenization. But like, these are just some of the recent announcements. I can go on and on and on. I could bring up all of the big banks jumping into tokenization, hiring around blockchain and crypto. But what's going on here? Like, as a retail investor, we need to question what's really happening here. Is the Clarity Act really that important for institutional adoption? No, they're already here. And believe it or not, they have been trading against us. They've been trading against us for this entire time. For anyone out there that might be new, I want you guys to look up. I don't know what the video is named. I don't know the title of it. I know that it's from like 2016, 2017, might even be from 2018. But it was actually regarding JP Morgan, believe it or not. And ultimately, what was being said was that Jamie Dimon said that he would fire anyone that was holding, buying, or trading Bitcoin. However, he made these statements public and even said that Bitcoin is a scam, it's this, it's that, all while JP Morgan was investing into crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, things like that, overseas. See, that's how they play us. They tell us one thing, but they do the opposite. That's why when I come back to the whole idea of like this Clarity Act being such a big deal, like, oh, without clarity, crypto can't advance, crypto can't do this, crypto can't. I honestly don't think that we need clarity. I'm just going to be real with you guys. Do I think that we need clarity for specific things? Yeah, sure. If we really want to see crypto being integrated into the traditional system and things like that, yeah, clarity is very important. However, to think that crypto can't move without clarity is ridiculous. Think about this market. Think about what was accomplished over the last decade without clarity. We hit nearly, it was over a $4 trillion market cap without clarity. Multiple generational runs in crypto without clarity. But now we're being told that without clarity, nothing can happen. That's telling me that institutional players, and along with all of the big show, the song and dance with politicians, they're telling us that these things can't happen, that you shouldn't even be in crypto until we see clarity done. Don't bet on anything happening at all. They're going to make retail basically be sidelined until clarity actually goes live. Meanwhile, all of the big players are preparing their products, launching their products, going all in on tokenization, on crypto trading. They are lying to us. And I strongly believe that a lot of these big players alongside market makers were responsible for that massive wipeout back on October 10th. We heard from Jamie Dimon and Larry Fink regarding leverage and why leverage needs to be wiped out. And Larry Fink even said that he's more bullish than ever before now because of leverage being wiped out. Not too sure if we did see, enough leverage getting wiped out of the market, but I don't want to sit here speculating on it. The main thing that we are looking at, though, is even if we go back to October 10th, right? Look at how crazy October 10th was. We witnessed an insane amount of liquidations. And over this entire period of time, we just continued to see liquidations stack up more and more and more. They will slaughter retail because that's what they do in traditional markets as well. They shake out retail just to send things even higher. Mainstream media tells us the markets are looking topped. The markets are about to witness a massive, crash similar to Black Monday, similar to this, similar to that, just for things to go even higher. I feel like we are getting manipulated. This is the hardest cycle of crypto, and I've been in crypto for multiple cycles already. This has to be one of the hardest cycles to survive in because we are getting force-fed so much from the Iran war to clarity to, institutional adoption is on pause because of clarity. Like, there is so much happening here, but 90% of it is all noise. So with that being said, the main thing to do here is simply survive. Do not get shaken out. Clarity will happen when the big players are ready, when they are positioned, when they have everything in place. Until then, it's probably just going to be a drama show, back and forth nonsense. And right now, the main thing to just do is accumulate the lows. Make sure to, I'm telling you guys right now, like, do not play with leverage. So do not play with leverage. Do not get shaken out. Survive. That's it. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more likely to follow me on Twitter as well as join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.